The desert whispers secrets no one should hear. When four adventurers find an ancient temple buried beneath the dunes, they awaken a curse older than time itself. A relentless sun beat down on the barren dunes of the Sarom Desert, where shifting sands whispered like ghosts. Among them were four adventurers: Daniel, the archaeologist chasing forgotten legends; Lena, the photographer searching for the perfect shot; Raj, the skeptic and experienced desert guide; Maya, an enthusiastic history student. They had heard rumors of an ancient temple buried beneath the sands, known only as the Temple of the Sun's Shadow. Locals refused to approach it, citing tales of cursed spirits and endless despair. The group dismissed these as mere superstitions. Discovery of the temple. On the second day of their expedition, Maya's shovel hit something solid. Beneath the sands lay an ominous stone door etched with cryptic symbols. The door bore a warning in ancient script: "Those who disturb the shadow shall never leave the desert alive." Ignoring the warning, they pried the door open. A gust of cold air rushed out, carrying a low, guttural whisper. Raj hesitated, sensing an unnatural chill despite the scorching heat outside. "We shouldn't go in," he warned. But Daniel, fueled by ambition, pressed forward. The group reluctantly followed, descending into the darkness. The air grew colder as they entered the vast chamber, illuminated by flickering torches. The walls were adorned with carvings of people kneeling before a towering figure with hollow eyes and clawed hands. A massive sarcophagus stood at the center, its lid slightly ajar. "Look at these carvings," Daniel said, excitement overriding his fear. "They depict a god called Az-Sahar, the devourer of time." Lena snapped photos, her camera capturing shadows that seemed to move on their own. Raj noticed their footprints in the sand behind them, disappearing as if erased by unseen hands. "Something's wrong," he muttered. Suddenly, a high-pitched scream echoed through the chamber. It wasn't from any of them. The group froze, their breath visible in the freezing air. "What was that?" Maya whispered, clutching her flashlight. The sarcophagus groaned, its lid shifting slightly. Shadows on the walls stretched unnaturally, forming grotesque faces that seemed to watch them. "We need to leave," Raj shouted, but the entrance had vanished, replaced by a solid wall of sandstone. The torches dimmed, plunging the chamber into near darkness. Lena's camera flashed, briefly illuminating a figure standing near the sarcophagus. Its hollow eyes glowed, and its skeletal grin widened as it turned toward them. The figure whispered, "The sands are hungry." Sand poured in from the ceiling, swirling like a living creature. The group ran deeper into the temple, the sound of footsteps echoing behind them. Footsteps that weren't theirs. Lena stumbled, dropping her camera. When she reached to pick it up, skeletal hands burst from the sand, pulling her under. Her screams echoed, then abruptly stopped. The sand settled, leaving no trace of her. "She's gone," Maya screamed. The others tried to dig, but the sand was as hard as stone. A guttural laugh filled the air. "She's still with us," the voice whispered, as Lena's distorted face appeared briefly in the sand, her mouth moving as if screaming silently. As they pressed on, the group found a narrow corridor lined with mirrors that reflected not their own images, but their worst fears. Daniel saw himself aged, withered, and skeletal, begging for release. Maya saw her family buried alive in sand, clawing at invisible walls. Raj smashed one of the mirrors. but it only intensified the whispers. "You cannot escape," the voices chanted. They stumbled into a massive chamber with a swirling vortex of sand at its center. Above it floated the hollow-eyed figure of Az-Sahar, its bony hands outstretched. "The sands demand sacrifice," it intoned. Daniel, desperate, tried to read the inscriptions on the walls. "There must be a way to end this," he shouted. Az-Sahar pointed at Maya. The sand rose like tendrils, wrapping around her legs. "Help me!" she screamed. But neither Daniel nor Raj could move. Maya was pulled into the vortex, her screams fading as her body dissolved into the sand. Daniel and Raj, the last survivors, found an ancient artifact, a glowing amulet, in the chamber. Believing it was their salvation, they grabbed it. The moment they touched the amulet, the sandstorm ceased. The temple rumbled as the walls began to collapse. Outside, they found themselves back on the dunes, disoriented but alive. The sun was setting. "We made it," Raj said, relief washing over him. But as he turned to Daniel, he saw his reflection in Daniel's eyes. Daniel's face began to crack like dry sand, his features dissolving. "The curse. It never ends," Daniel rasped, before crumbling into a pile of sand. Raj looked at his own hands. They were turning to sand as well. The last thing he heard was Az-Sahar's chilling laugh. "The Sarom Desert keeps its secrets buried. And for those who disturb the sands, eternity awaits."